Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Moist Weenus, and I'm joined this evening by the man, the myth, the legend, Archangel himself. Thank you for joining me tonight, sir.
Thank you very much for having me tonight, Venus. Very excited to be here. Always a pleasure and an honor to hop in and get to kind of enjoy the community side of this a bit more.
Absolutely. We have an exciting match that we're bringing you tonight. This is round 3, Division E, Married and Mediocre versus Luciodology. So this should be a very exciting game. I like trying to catch this division when I can. Since it was a holiday today, it just fit with the schedule. So let's, I'm just going to pull up these rosters of both these teams real quick. So I'm going to pop that on now. So over for Married and Mediocre, I should know how to pronounce this, but I don't. Is it Nasu? I'm guessing. Playing Malfurion, the Karazim, the Zarya. There's Tragus, plays the Nazebo, the Leoric, the Johanna. Tanker, who is the current captain at the moment. I believe he is taking over that responsibility for right now. We got Thrall, and we got some Stitches, some Phoenix, Cap Speedy, also playing some Phoenix, some Johanna, some Gravemane. Cherubin playing some, I believe that's Tychus, right? Or Raynor? Man, I can't tell them apart. Can't tell them apart, I know. I need to work on that. The picture's so tiny. Make your graphics bigger, Weenus. Jaina and Chromie, and then Chimp Loafers, which I love that name. I'm not sure. I don't think they're playing tonight, but Deckard, ETC, and Stitches. What do we got for Luciodology, Ark?
So in Luciodology, we have Galactos, who is team captain. He tends to play, looks like Deckard and Lucio and Blaze, kind of a mix-up. Lemony Fresh is the white main, Kael'thas and Cassia, a great supporter of Cassia, so I approve of that, Lemony Fresh. Great choice. Takulu, I hope I said that right, which is Jimmy, Leeming, and Jaina. Fairywinkle likes the Deckard, Genji, and Asmodan. Goose MVP, Hintron. Goose MVP is Joe, Muradin, and ETC, the tank role. Hintron, Jaina, Dahaka, Vala. And finally, Eugenes with Yrel, Garrosh, and Arthas.
Excellent. And it looks like there's quite a few members on that roster. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So unfortunately, we're only going to be able to see 5 from each tonight. But let's take a look at the matchup between both of these teams. I'm going to pull up the second page here. Just a few things to look at. Overall record so far, Married and Mediocre at 87.5%, 7-1, versus Luciodology, which is the 5-5. So they're straight at the 50% mark. This information comes from Stats of the Storm. Big shout out to Falendrith. This information is up to date as of the 28th of last month, so there may be some variation. Slight KDA advantage going to Married and Mediocre, a larger hero pool with Luciodology, so they've played a few more heroes. It looks like they have more matches that are listed, so that could be part of it as well. Both teams about the same on their race to 10, and Married and Mediocre a little bit faster to 20. So it looks like this should be a good matchup. It looks like Luciodology might be the underdog here tonight, but that never means that one team can't get a 2-0. So we'll just close these stats up, and let me just check with the captains, and let's get this game rolling. Make sure that these guys are still ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, like you said, can't ever count the underdog out. Last season in the playoffs, we actually saw the underdog of the underdogs in several divisions take out undefeated teams. So always excited to see how people play. And, as we all know, you can't ever count them out. Rocky likes to buck, and he might make it back.
That's true. And let me actually put these maps in, and let me tell you, first we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. That is going to be map number 1. Map number 2 is going to be Towers of Doom. There we go. So map number 1 was chosen by Married and Mediocre, so they will have the first ban and the first pick going over to Luciodology. That's the team there. All right, both the captains are ready, so let's rock
and roll, baby.
Game number 1. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yes.
I actually hate spiders. I don't know why they made this map, but it's okay.
Are you an arachnophobia? Is that something you have?
Oh,
Is that what it's
definitely
called?
not. I'll kill him in a heartbeat, and I'm okay with all of that. I'm just not a fan of him.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
looks like you got the Jimmy band coming out, pretty common since his rework. You see, a lot of teams still think he's pretty strong, so really not surprised with that. How about you, Enos?
Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of range. He has a lot of synergy with Jaina, who's so hot right now, even though she's the an ice mage. I think that there's a lot of utility that Raynor has right now as split push or team fight based on which ult he picks. There goes Sally Whitemane. I think that's kind of a funny hero name in general. It's like Sally, good old Sally. It's like, yeah, who's the new hero in Heroes of the Storm? Oh, it's my neighbor Bob. Like Sally Whitemane.
It's good old Sally, the one who can burst heal through icy veins. Jaina, I know I've tested it. It's amazing how much burst heal she has.
Yep, single target burst healing, very very good. And it looks like Luciodology does not want to play against Garrosh, as Garrosh gets the ban. Exerted, welcome to Twitch chat. Woohoo! Go Married and Mediocre. All right, well you got some fans out there right now, as well as Double Dam. Thank you for stopping by. Looks like a good matchup for E tonight. Yes, it does.
And there we see the Genji band. So actually, not surprised. We're kind of seeing just the main bands right now out of the meta, the ones nobody wants to deal with. And it looks like they're picking up the Asmo on Luciodology side.
Yeah, I love seeing Asmo. He just has, there's so many different things that you can do with him, and I really like that he is now fighting with the main 4-man, or however you're going to split your comp, instead of just always having to be by himself. But we do see Nazeebo and Johanna picked up for Married and Mediocre. Johanna so strong right now, and I think Nazeebo could be an answer to the push from Asmodan. What do you think?
So I love Naz on this map. You can get your stack super easy just by rotating mid and top constantly. And Naz being a late game stack hero, I think he's worth it. I usually don't vouch for many specialists, but Naz I definitely agree with. Looking here now, we've got the Deckard and the Diablo out on the side of Luciodology. Diablo I like. Everybody loves a good wall slam, and Deckard is probably top healer right now. What do you think, Witness? Is he top?
Yeah.
Other than Whitemane?
I think you see a lot of Whitemane, you see a lot of Deckard, and you see a lot of Alexstrasza all in the top 3. You throw Stukov in there, and then you have a hard top 4. I hear a lot of people who love playing the Deckard Cain. They play him very well. He's got a lot of stay a while and listen, a lot of Lornado coming out of that old man. But I think it's pretty good, especially if you can stack it up with something like Diablo, who you get a lot of stuns with, and some hard CC. Speaking of the Jaina, there she comes out now, as well as Thrall for Married and Mediocre.
Yeah, Jaina solid. My team loves having me play Jaina. Jaina's just solid in the team fight. No matter what, she's great for the wave clear. I think she's all around, honestly, probably my favorite mage other than Li Ming, but Li Ming's a little more fun with the reset build. It just is. But it looks like they're going. If Jaina throws up her frost ring and Naz gets a wall, that person's gonna die.
Speaking of throwing up, if they throw up and I do, I've got my pot ready to rock and roll. So we should be all good. Zeratul and Phoenix, very interesting. I like seeing Zeratul picked up just because I don't see it as often. So that's gonna be fun for the side of Luciodology. Aura Windrunner, thanks for stopping by and throwing something into Twitch chat. Glad to have you here.
Oh, Aura, thank you for visiting and stopping in. Send your hubby my regards.
Absolutely. And we see Karazim as the last pickup here for Married and Mediocre. Which draft do you think won here? Which draft do you like more?
I'm gonna have to give it to Luciodology. Actually, I think Asmodean is really strong and late game damage is great. And I also am just a fan of Deckard. I think they have more CC potential with Deckard than they have on the other side, Married and Mediocre with the Jaina, because Deckard is, simple Q, whereas Jaina, that's her ult. I mean, she has some slow with everything else, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to see if Zeratul can find Jaina alone. Because going up against a Thrall and the Nazebo, Karazim, and Johanna, I don't know if you're going to be able to get a whole lot of gank potential on them. Maybe Nazebo, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Zeratul's really awesome as Jaina. You cannot solo him late game. I think it's past 16. You'll have to burn your stasis block. Um, so I'm not sure. They do have the Karazim who can dash to Jaina and should be able to keep her alive, even if she's fallen back a little bit, because you know most Jainas like to stay back and poke.
Sure.
So interested to see how that will work. Zeratul will definitely have to play carefully in order to get it, but maybe he's just going to be rotating.
Yeah, I think he might have to travel with maybe Diablo or maybe Phoenix, maybe both, something to set up maybe a chain CC in order to secure that kill. But we'll see what they end up doing here.
Are we looking at a gank squad?
I hope so. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mediocre, Married and Mediocre versus Luciodology, game 1. Over here on the blue team, we have Married and Mediocre. We have Cap Speedy over here playing the Johanna. We have Cherubin playing the Jaina. We have Tragus playing, I believe, is that Nazebo? That skin. Tanker playing the Thrall, and who did I miss? Nasa playing, oh my goodness, why can't I think of his name? I'm spacing it, guys. Karazim.
Okay, on the right side, Luciodology, we have Galactos on the Decker Cane, Limiting Fresh on Phoenix, Fairy Winkle, who is not a fairy, is rather a demon, and that's Diablo. Hintron we have on Zeratul, and Eugenes on the Lesser Primeval Asmodan.
Not a fairy whatsoever.
Not at all.
Shout out to the wives, says Tanker. So, if you're married and mediocre, that I guess that implies that you have some wives who are also watching at the time, supporting their husbands, and vice versa.
Hey, amen. That's why NGS is here.
It's good to see Thrall and Phoenix are going to be battling it out in the bottom lane. See who wins there. I think, you know, as long as Phoenix doesn't get caught. Oh, here's a pause. Do we lose somebody? Somebody might be on the DC.
I'm not sure. I didn't see a DC. They might be on the lag out though.
Just gave me a heart attack. We all thought that we lagged out. Are we dead?
Is this the point where we get to mess with them and go, yes?
Yes,
you
you're
died.
all dead.
I'm so sorry. It was an amazing team wipe. We don't know what happened, seeing it was the first 30 seconds of the game.
Right. Let's see. Let's make sure that their connections are strong and that they have decent pings. Although I think I just said that to... Is that just to us? Because everyone can see observer chat, right? Should be. All right.
You got the countdown?
Yeah.
All right, good to...
Let's make sure everyone's still ready here. Can you see what I'm typing?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's only to me, though.
All right. Actually, can you do a countdown? I may not be toggled as a referee.
Oh, you have me on the same.
All right. Well, it looks like they're going to figure it out, and they're going to do it. So, that'll be fine.
Boom, boom.
All right. They figured it out. See, I always miss one thing, and this is what it is. But these teams are great. They got it, and here we go. We're back.
So looking down here, Phoenix should win that bot lane against Thrall. I assume they're gonna have to rotate down here to help him out.
Yeah,
help Thrall out.
Yeah, that range is just going to be a little bit too much for Thrall to be able to withstand. Unless he gets a good opportunity to go in for a gank, maybe get some help. Here comes Zeratul. Maybe they're looking to get a gank now that Thrall is a little bit lower.
So that is the benefit of Tomb of the Spider Queen, is somebody like Zeratul can actually get a lot of value if somebody's caught out. because it's quick, fast, easy rotation since the map's so small.
Yep, everyone's rotating through to turn in their gems as well, so the opportunities to get picks is there as well, and a lot of them. Double Dam saying that she loves the team shout out to their wives
Well,
in Twitch
all of us
chat.
married men know that we would definitely be nowhere without our wives. My daily life would be very miserable without my wife, so I completely agree. And shout out to the wives from on behalf of the admin team as well.
Jaina taking a lot of damage as well as Zeratul. Yes, but yes, you can't thank our wives, our spouses, husbands enough. So, not that I have one of either, but you know, for everyone who does.
Both teams just getting that rotation down from top mid there. Just hitting a wave, walking back down, and clearing again. Solid right so far.
Diablo taking a lot of damage, but should be able to make it back behind the gate. Fairy Winkle, oh, gets dived by Karazim and taken out, but now Karazim is on the wrong side of the fence, but can walk away. It's gonna get away.
Yeah, you should have his dash coming up too. That was actually really oh man. He went in deep for it, and he got out. Unfortunately, Dibbles didn't have his whole team up there. I think Married and Mediocre is doing a little bit better rotations as a team right now. We saw Zeratul did stay in mid lane there to push on the forts a little bit, but
Yeah, that was a deep dive, but it turned out that it was worth it. Getting that kill on Diablo, we have 43 gems on the side of Merit and Mediocre. They need to try and get those turned in when they can. Neither team has enough for a complete turn-in at this point, though.
no, not at all. But I mean, they're both super close to it. I really expect that down here in the solo lane, Phoenix can drop up pretty easy if they get Zeratul to gank. I think that'll help them out a lot, and then they'll set them up for a better team fight.
Yep. Fairywinkle looking for a target to grab and bring back to the rest of the team, but can't quite find it, taking a lot of range damage.
Yeah, Jane is actually doing pretty well now. Looks like that first dive on the up there earlier kind of scared him a little bit. He's hanging back.
100 stacks of annihilation so far for Asmodan, so those are going along quite well.
Yes. Well, wait. Like Naz, this is just such a great map for Asmodan since he can sit and stack both lanes at once. Plus, you're constantly engaging with the hero fight, so getting your stacks in is actually super easy. And there goes Zeratul getting caught out, and the Jaina slows are brutal.
Too much damage, couldn't handle it. Does get picked off. That's the thing with Zeratul, is you're invisible a lot of the time. You can be really sneaky, but if they catch you and they pin you down and they slow you, which Jaina excels at, you might get deleted. And we get a turn in here. First will be Luciodology. They are the first to turn in, and their Web Weaver phase begins. Phoenix pushing bottom, but is about to get sandwiched here by Jaina. Jaina comes out. A lot of damage going down, and Lemony Fresh does not make it out. There goes Phoenix. That was a good gank.
Yeah, that was excellent, actually, and a great interrupt on the teleport there by Thrall.
Absolutely. Holding on to that route until the time is right. Luciodology is going to try to push top with the last Web Weaver, but it will go down. A little bit behind in XP at this point. Maybe a quarter level advantage going over to Merit and Mediocre, but it's still very close.
It's still really close. It's still pretty early. I mean, Asmodan, we know, is a late game character as he gets his stacks. I mean, he's already at 145, doing a quick glimpse here on my side here. Naz is at 72, and Naz did go the Toad build. Oh, wow. Dibble's Fairywinkle diving deep for Naisu there. Looks like he wanted a little bit of vengeance. Not getting it this time, though.
Excellent. Yeah, that was he dove seemed like about halfway across the map. He was going deep. Dibble's going deep. All right, so there are enough gems to turn in here for Merit and Mediocre. They just need to find it. Luciodology doing a very good job of protecting the turn-ins and keeping that from happening, but eventually, you know, something's gonna happen. Either they're gonna get their turn in, or they're gonna lose some of these gems in a team fight.
Yeah, and somehow they have to. So Jaina's kind of being all their peel right now. Jaina's actually Captain Speedy's sitting there with 29 gems currently, continuously going up as they clear more waves. That somehow they're gonna have to be able to split off here so that Captain Speedy can actually get his turn in.
Yeah, 31 gems is a lot of gems. I know I always get nervous when I'm holding more than 10 or so gems. You know, at least it's the tank holding the gems.
Especially Joe with the unstoppable.
Looks like Karazim and Thrall are gonna maybe go in. There's the root. The root goes down onto
Oh,
Phoenix, but gets away.
gets it. Zeratul gets it, dives in, he throws it, and he takes out the Jaina. Now, Jaina didn't have any gems on her really, so unfortunately didn't get a lot out of that. And Married to Mediocre still gets their web weavers down. So we'll see how fast Luciodology can clear this.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's really hard to you know, defend and push back when you're down players. Luckily, it's you know, under 8 minutes in the game, so the death timers aren't too bad. So Jaina's back up already again, and let's see where they decide to push. We might see a rotation by Luciodology to come down here and gank Tanker. There we go. Diablo goes in, gets the charge and the flip, and we have 10s popping out. We see Earthquake go down. Tanker taking a lot of damage with those 10 gems, escaping with 113 health. So close, but it might be a counter engage here as Galactus is taking a lot of damage. Deckard can't escape and does get taken out. It might... Zeratul does take damage too, but it manages to get across the wall. Wow.
Yeah, that 7-sided strike, Deckard was the only one in there, and he took the full brunt of it, unfortunately. Slow old man just can't take that many punches anymore.
No, not... It's gonna be a sad article in that AARP version. But let's just go over some of the heroics here for Married and Mediocre. We have Earthquake on Thrall. We have Gargantuan on Nazebo. We have Blessed Shield on Johanna. We have 7-sided Strike, as we saw, on Karazim. And we have Summon Water Elemental for Jaina. No ring.
And over on the side of Luciodology, we have the Lornado with Deckard Cain. Tide of Sin, most common for Asmo, of course. Actually, Might of the Nerazim for the Zeratul there. Lightning Breath for Dibbles, as we saw in the team fight, and Purification Salvo for Phoenix.
Hector in chat says, "Oh man, Nazebo, scary pick." Yep, with those extra minions. Same thing though with the Asmodan, who's now at 245 stacks of Annihilation, getting it done.
Yeah, with a max of 400, he's already over the halfway point. He's actually doing really well on his stacks. And we have Nazib's actually at 118 already, not even 10 minutes into the game, which is really, really excellent.
Yeah, the stacking going very well there, as well as Toad's, you know, 30 of 40, so that's stacking up as well. Jaina is at, you know, almost 6k in Frostbite, needs 15k, getting there as well. More team fights that happen, the more that number can go up. 39 stacks of advanced targeting from Phoenix.
So with the Web Weavers being out now for the side of Luciodology, we see him grouping as a 5-man here to push. I think this is the right call. They're gonna lose Soak, and they're already behind a little bit anyways, but hopefully they can get a pick or at least get the fort to try and even out the experience.
Married and Mediocre is putting up a huge defense here, though. Popping Gargantuan, though, but they take down the Web Weaver, and they save that bottom fort, and with a 3 and almost then a 4 B5. But Diablo
is caught out there.
Lightning Breath comes out. 7-sided as well, and it's too much, and Nazebo drops down. But there goes Deckard and Diablo. Now the chase is on for Phoenix. Phoenix having to teleport away, but being chased by Karazim, getting a lot of those punches in. Can Phoenix get away with 114 health? Phoenix does. Wow.
Whew. He does not have to be resurrected again, thankfully. He can go back and tap. For those of you, sorry, a little bit of StarCraft nerd lore for you there.
That Karazim chase is insane. That Karazim chase is insane.
He's got so many dashes. You can't get away. I mean, well, Phoenix technically can, but I'm pretty sure the dash just outmatches cooldown for his phase. So
yeah, that was crazy. I was like, all right, Phoenix is gonna get away with that teleport, and then I was like, oh, maybe they're not, and then just barely does. I'm sure that was such a close engagement. That was awesome.
Married to Mediocre grabbing that bot camp, actually a really solid idea. Looks like they're gonna, I would think, try to get turn in here. They're only 5 short.
Yeah, I think they want to take down this camp that's pushing from Luciodology in the mid, and then probably try to get a turn in now that their camp is pushing bottom. A lot of toad damage going out onto Diablo. Very
Yeah,
Winkle.
those toads are shredding Dibbles, unfortunately.
The Toad Quest Pandemic is stacked.
Nas currently sitting at 135 stacks as well. Update on Asmodan, 301. He is actually almost done. 12 minutes into this game.
Yeah, getting a lot of value. Like you said, this is with all of these extra creeps spawning, all these extra minions with all these spiders, it just makes it that much easier. But a turn-in is achieved for Merit and Mediocre, and they are ready to push with it. Still, they have all 6 of their forts still up. Structures.
I'm really excited to see like a solid team fight, like a 5v5. I'm waiting for it. I want to see a brawl. 7-sided strike coming out, and Dibble's taking a lot of damage going down. Phoenix phasing out just barely there. I'm pretty sure we can say this mid fort is going over to Merit and Mediocre.
Yep, they go in with that Web Weaver, and they go deep, fast, and hard. Don't quote me on that. It will not be in the interview. I'm off the record. But Zeratul taking so much damage. Can Hentron get away? And does with 175. Wow.
Yeah, Phoenix having to burn the salvo core there. I think trying to just get him to push back, be a little, scared to keep chasing the Zeratul. I think the big issue that Luciodology is having here is that's twice now that one person has gotten caught in the 7-sided strike, and you really have to go back into it to help each other out and split the damage up.
Absolutely. Here, Asmodan getting caught by Merit and Mediocre and is burned down. Diablo now falling into the same trap. Also gets blown up.
7-sided strike again. Nisu getting value out of Karazim this fight.
Lord NATO was used, but was not enough to save the Diablo. And Merit and Mediocre has enough gems to turn in again. And that's what they're doing right now, and they should be unopposed. Good time to turn in with a lot of lanes already pushed. Looks like they're holding.
Most definitely.
Possibly.
I mean, lanes are already pushed in. They're winning the team fights. I think this is solid. Get the turn in, take down a keep.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe even a boss play, depending on if they can get a couple of picks. If they get a boss and a Web Weaver turn at the same time and push top, that could be enough just to win the game. Talent tier advantage also right now for Merit and Mediocre for just a second, as they have 17. Very close to 16. Luciodology is looking to soak up that XP and get on the same talent tier.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Luciodology can't really do much right now. They need to soak. They need to clear some of these lanes, push them out a bit, and just at least get on the same talent tier. And then maybe start looking for the fight. I think they're getting caught in choke points a little too much for that 7-sided strike. And it seems like they're really struggling to get past Joe to get to the back line.
Yeah, that 7-sided strike is really getting a lot of value this game so far. Let's see what kind of a defense Luciodology can put up top. Looks like this is the lane that is going to be pushed by Merit and Mediocre the hardest. Let's see if they can avoid getting picked in this engagement, because that is what led to them losing structures in the past. They do have 16 now, so at least they're all on the same level. Talent tier.
Jaina just 500 short, give or take, from her. Looks like we have a pause again. From her baseline quest there to get her stasis. Asmo's done with his stacks, and Naz is sitting at 167 as we go into this pause.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there one stack at a time.
So he can go the big voodoo.
Oh yeah, you gotta. What is that? Is that 210? What is the stack on the big voodoo?
175.
175. That makes more sense. That sounds like a more reasonable number. I think that's correct.
I think it's 170, 175.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's been a while, so I haven't played. I don't really play him. So.
I'm just bad, so that's why I just make up numbers and then we go from there. All right, Tanker says they have little computer problems, but I think they're ready. Get a Galactos. He says he's ready, so they're going to resume the game countdown, and we are back. Props to both of these teams for handling the observer instead of referee settings for myself, and handling these pauses and resumes very, very well. So,
yeah, Very, very sportsmanlike, professional of them. They just kept going, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, they're handling it very well, and we see a boss play now from Merit and Mediocre, and Luciodology is so far away. I don't think they even know or would be able to come and defend against this boss. Oh, they're coming now, but it's a little bit too late. Not enough. They'll just have to defend this boss, and then probably they'll want to hold their turn in until this boss goes down. Otherwise, they'll lose a lot of value with that turn in while the boss is pushing.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll give Asmo a chance to use this trait in the other lanes, and their bruiser that they took push it out a bit, so maybe they'll get a little more value out of these spiders, which we saw they haven't gotten much out of the last two.
Absolutely, yeah. All 6 of the structures are still standing for Merit and Mediocre, and now Lucidology is threatened. Their top keep is threatened. Zeratul taking a lot of damage. Karazim diving in. They are pushing well with this Web Weaver.
Yeah, Fairwing will get in
Seven-sided
trouble.
comes
Caught in
out.
the 7 again. 7-sided is MVP this game.
Absolutely. The salvo is used here. And the top keep goes down. Still plenty of ults left to be used.
So that question every caster asks, can they end here? What do you think? Cherubin's getting shredded by Asmo dunks, but Karazim with the heals. Looks like Merit and Mediocre is not even going to go for it. They said, you know what? We got our keep, and we're going to take it.
They are chasing Johanna, but you got to be careful. If they decide to turn this back around, it's a 5v4, but they're very, very low. Earthquake is used, and it will help them escape. That was a good disengage tool. Still getting pounded by those Asmo dunks, but all 5 members of Merit and Mediocre, they get their keep, and then they escape. Well played.
Wow, look at this! Look at this wave mid on the side of Merit and Mediocre. Got the 4 down all the way on top of taking keep. Well, let's see. Looks like they're trying to get the turn in. That was a good call. Good call. Play defense and then go for the turn in. Hopefully I'm assuming gonna try to run it down mid.
Yeah, they have a lot of pressure in the bottom lane, but Nazeebo's going to drop down there and clean it up. I'm not sure if they're going to go for mid or if they're going to just be satisfied to take another fort. It definitely will not be putting a lot of ammunition from their players in the top lane as it's so far pushed back, but I think they might just take this fort bottom and then continue to push with it and see how much resistance they get from Married and Mediocre.
Yeah, I think Merit and Mediocre, even though they have 20s, you're a little scared now. We saw Asmo Dunk doing a lot of work there in this last team fight. Currently, Asmo's most share damage on the board with 40,000. Shortly followed by Nazeebo on Merit and Mediocre with 31k. So, yeah, I think they're recognizing that tight corners, choke points are probably not a good spot to fight right now.
Yeah, especially when they're down 18 to 20. You make a good point. That Nazeebo is doing a lot of damage, as well as Asmodan, like you were saying. And I think Asmodan's numbers are now just going to keep going up. You were correct. It is 175 stacks for the Vile Infection. So that has already been achieved. It's the battle of the stacks.
It is. It really is. That's exactly what we're watching right now. Battle of the stacks. We see Phoenix having to use his phase to get out there, but Asmo putting in work, did quite a bit of damage. So, I mean, all in all, it looks like Luciodology is leaving with more health.
A huge dunk going down. Here comes Salvo. There goes 7-sided. There goes Earthquake. Diablo's getting chased. He's only got 69 souls, so this will be a death for Diablo, and he will not instant respawn. A lot of damage, though, going out onto Married and Mediocre. But that's going to be a 1 for none.
Yeah, and we saw it again. Jaina got really low staying in the back line. However, they just couldn't get past the Joe, and Dibbles got caught out with the wall. 7 Stridic did quite a bit of work there, but didn't get the kill this time. But I'm not sure what to say. I mean, it's kind of back and forth right now. They both push up, they get a kill, and then they kind of both back off again.
Yeah, in this late of game now, that we've entered the late game, we're 20 minutes in, camps are being picked up, just a lot of soaking and lane clearing. Luciodology is trying to get to 20 as well, and then they can be on the same talent tier, be able to maybe initiate a couple of the fights instead of always having to be on the back foot. But we do have a web weaver phase starting now for Merit and Mediocre, and we've known that in the past they've pushed very hard with these web weavers. So I expect there to be some kind of a fight here before 20.
Yeah, Luciodology is going to be in trouble here because top's going to push in and they no longer have that keep. So the caddies and the spiders are going to stack. But they have to defend this bottom keep where the team is pushing against them. So we'll see how they handle it. I think it's going to be rough.
Zeratul isn't quite here yet, so it's a 4v5 with web weaver. Lornado is used as Zeratul comes in. It's going to take the safe way around, doesn't want to get caught. A little bit of dive-in damage on the Phoenix. This keep is starting to take damage, but Johanna is taking a lot of damage as well. Seven-sided comes out. Lightning Breath comes out. And it's Phoenix who drops first, and now it's Asmodan in trouble. Asmodan drops as well. Diablo getting chased by the aggressive Karazim.
I'm pretty sure this is game here. Asmo was the most of their damage on the side of Luciodology, and this is free pushing now with no fear of the dunks.
Very true, very true. Earthquake goes down. Toad damage is stacking up on all of these players. Core is at 25%. There goes Deckard, and that is game 1. Going over to Merit and Mediocre. Let's pull up some
all in all,
stats.
yeah, battle of the stacks. I mean, that's 100% what we just saw. Asmodan rocking it though for the leaderboard there with 60k hero damage.
Yeah, they're really coming online late, after getting those stacks, and just once he hit 400, he would hit every single member of Merit and Mediocre, and they would lose like a third of their health. It would just chunk and chunk and chunk. So if that game, I mean, it's hard to say. If that game went on, 10 minutes longer, would Nazebo start be doing the same numbers as well? Nazebo doing perfectly fine and doing very well on the side of Merit and Mediocre with 47k. 7-1, so a lot of kills coming from that Nazebo. 14-2, only 2 kills from Luciodology. They did get a pick on the Jaina and the Nazebo. It seemed like it was hard for Luciodology to come back, although they did a very valiant effort in their defenses. What do you think Luciodology could have done better to have turned this game around, in your opinion? Or if it's possible.
I think they focused I think Luciodology probably focused the Naz, who had quite a bit of health with the stacks, and Joe a little too much. I mean, several times we saw Jaina get real low, Thrall get really low, and that's the perfect point with the combo, the comp that they had, where you have your Zeratul kind of try to blink in and go around the back and finish it up, right? Play cleanup, be the finisher for the team. It just seemed like they also kept getting caught. I think that led to a little bit of their experience.
Deficit.
Yeah, deficit. Sorry, I was searching for my words there. So all in all, I think those are some of the few minor changes. Other than that, I mean, the hero damage was solid. I think it just had to do with a little bit more of the team fight. I think if they had done a little bit better there, I think they could have easily won the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard-fought battle, and good plays by both teams. I think you're right. I think if you have a Zeratul, you gotta try to utilize them and pick off people once they get low and start to run away, But they did such a good job from Merit and Mediocre and using Earthquake as a disengage instead of necessarily always having to use it as an engage, and I think it really helped them escape a couple times where they could have possibly got team wiped and different outcomes. So great plays by both teams, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome. Very fun to watch. Fun to see them just go at it, and very professionally just had some fun and moved on. And are you ready for the next one?
I
am. I believe we're going to the Towers of Doom.
We are going to Towers of Doom. Welcome King Priam to the chat. What a wall of comments. But they do have a good point. They said, look at the siege damage from the Zeratul. And it's true. It was 160k siege damage from Zeratul. So that is worth pointing out.
Yeah, keep it up with the Jaina there. Who only had 1,000 more.
Yeah, there's a lot of soak by a lot of different, Zebo 140k, 161k on Jaina, almost 100 on Johanna, 160 on Zeratul, 150 on Phoenix, 158 on Asmodan. There's just soak everywhere. So I agree. The soak is real. We are going to get this lobby set up, and we're going to, like Ark said, we are going to Towers of Doom. This is Luciodology's map pick. So we're going to get that set up, and we will be right back for game 2. Sit tight. We shall return. Hi friends, welcome back. Sorry that took just a second. We have now set up the game for game number 2, Towers of Doom, Married and Mediocre versus Luciodology. That was an exciting game 1. I am joined once again by Archangel. Thank you, sir, for being here and co-casting with me tonight.
Thank you for having me again, Winus. But I need you to do me a quick favor. Can you please repeat Towers of Doom?
Towers of Doom.
There we go. There's a little map hype for us.
Whoops.
It's a classic, and it's also one we see pretty often in NGS, surprisingly. Towers of Doom is a pretty common pick, so I'm looking forward to seeing these teams who win at it in the Battle of the Stacks last game on Tomb of the Spider Queen, seeing how they do on Towers of Doom.
Absolutely. I think both the teams are ready. Just checking through chat just a little bit. I think my the cow be right back screen might have disturbed King Priam just a bit, but that's okay. Moist Sweetness is sometimes disturbing. All right. Random death metal moment, says King Priam. All right. And Leapin' Lemur, welcome to chat. I think we're ready to go. Let me just double check with the captains. Let's see if I can time it correctly. The voice line saying Towers of Doom at the same time. All right, I think we are ready to rock. Just waiting on Married and Mediocre.
The whole world is watching. We will see if you do it right.
Well, I won't, but all right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Towers of Doom. I'll take what I can get.
Pretty close. You know what? That was better than what I could have done, so I'm good with it.
All right, this is Luciodology's map pick. So her first hero pick will go to Married and Mediocre. Let's see if Luciodology can get a win here and turn this into a draw, or if Married and Mediocre will get the 2-0 domination.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do. I think this is a very comp-oriented map. I'm really excited to see what they can get done here. So, I am a huge fan of Hanzo on this map. I've been practicing him a lot. Thanks, Crowan, for all the teachable moments on his stream. But we'll see what they ban out. White main first, not surprised. As we talked about before, her burst healing is just redonkulous.
Oh, and I have to play her laugh. Oh my god, so funny. Jaina being banned from Luciodology. They say no thanks. We played against that last time, and we are not in the mood to see that happen again.
Yeah, Jaina definitely really solid in this because of the tight pressure points and choke points just for the objective. So good call.
Another respect ban coming out for Asmodan. They also agreed, Married and Mediocre, that they did not want to play against Asmo again. Yes, Double Dom in chat. I am a referee now. I'm a real boy. I'm made of wood. So is Archangel. He's also a referee. I don't think he's made of wood.
Yes, very much so.
Doom. It says Leapin' Lemur in the chat. There's the Garrosh ban again. Coming out from Luciodology. I don't blame them. I don't like playing against Garrosh either.
Yeah, it's not that Garrosh is OP in any shape or form. I think it's just he's not fun to play against. I mean, constantly having to worry about getting thrown to a team and insta-killed is just not a fun way to play the video game.
Absolutely. We're gonna see Johanna picked up. Argued by some that Johanna is the #1 hard tank right now. I tend to agree. Definitely top 2. I don't know, like who else? Like you see a lot of Murden as well and some Diablo, but Johanna almost every game. Rebe.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with her unstoppable. Just her survivability is great, and she can still throw blinds out to broken heroes like Raynor.
Certainly. Raynor and Dahaka picked up for Luciodology. I think I just spit all over my monitor.
Dahaka's a great pickup on this map, though. I mean, the global for the objective's awesome. Good call. Now, Rainer picked, we saw the return pick Cassia instantly with a Lily. We have the team of blinds now to counter Rainer over here on the left side with Married and Mediocre.
Yeah, triple blind stack. That is... I think it's very creative.
I think the only thing they're missing is Artanis at this point with a 10 talent.
I think they might pull... If they pull in Artanis, it's going to be the complete set. Sonya banned by Luciodology. Plus, you do get bonus damage for the Cassia when she's striking blind targets. So, if I believe that's not base kit, I think that might have to be picked up.
Well, you get the heals for Fend at 7. I think it's the 7 tier. For hitting blind targets with it, you'll get your heals. But usually nowadays, most Cassias, so that tends to be the talent pick no matter what anyways, but most of them go the Q build with the lightning spear.
Yeah. Lucio is banned. It's an interesting ban. I haven't seen much Lucio at all. Backup tank Murden selected for Luciodology. I like that skin. He looks pissed.
He's an angry dwarf. What can we say?
Their eyes look the same, him and Deckard. It looks like they need more sleep, like me. But what can you do? They both got beards. They both look like they've heard a sad story. I love the portraits. All of the Blizzard artwork is so beautiful. It's fun just to look at and take a moment to appreciate it. Isn't that right, Mr. Chicken? Agreed. Thrall picked up again. As well
and
as...
Azul.
Ooh.
And Azul. What Azul are we looking at? Poison Nova or Frost Mages? Call it now. Call it now.
Oh, it's gonna be... Oh, I think it's gonna be the Poison Nova. And I think we're gonna see Earthquake again. I think we're gonna slow them and poison them, but you never know. I mean, with 3 blinds, you might wanna put out some blockades that'll keep them from escaping. KT picked up by Luciodology. Get a mage in there.
KT's pretty solid on this map. His ability to poke, lots of damage. He's not a bad choice for mage. I like the Deckard pick on here. I think Deckard's better than Lily, especially because you can take the Emerald talent for Deckard and kind of negate when she goes cups quite a bit.
That's true.
Cube.
Very true.
I think honestly, I think that's what makes Deckard the main meta healer right now, is because he is the one who can also reduce other supports healing. So, if you're going to take an Alex because you're going that comp with Alex, you have to ban out the Deckard, because one Emerald cube and your, life circle just meant nothing.
Sure. I mean, and no one's going to pick up Anna, in these games recently, who also has a lot of negation to healing. So, although maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be Water Dragon. You never know. May not even be Cups.
Water Dragon.
All right, well, here we go in game 2 of Married and Mediocre versus Luciodology. Here on the left side on the blue team, we have Married and Mediocre with Nasaw playing the Johanna. We have Captain Speedy playing the Lily. We have Tanker playing Thrall. We have Tragus playing the... Is that Zool? It's got to be Zool. I like that set, though. And Cherubin playing the Cassia.
And over here on the side of Luciodology, we have Galactos, the old-timer, playing the old-timer, Old Deckard. Kane there. Love you, Galactos. Just teasing you. Please don't call me out for that. Fairywinkle on Dahaka, Eugenes on Kael'thas, Lemony Fresh on the Rainer, and finally Hentron on the Muradin. Really excited here. I love Muradin. I love to see a good, solid Muradin.
I love Muradin too. Muradin and Muradin are both.
Muradin, yeah, well,
Everybody says it differently. I'm just teasing you a little bit. I don't know which way is right. Probably yours because I get it wrong. But Lily taking a lot of damage, having to back up a little bit as both teams are deciding to go full bore into this middle meetup.
Yeah, Casey get a lot of value there out of his living bomb. I think it popped twice.
Yep, Crash Lightning being picked up by Thrall, so that'll be interesting there. Oh, and we have a Convection KT
Drum roll for that. Convection KT. Here we
Will the
go.
stacks come in? Ooh, getting 3 stacks right there. We'll see.
Now,
Very...
fortunately, he does have Muradin to stun people, and then he could probably lock on with it pretty easily, right?
Yeah, plus you also have, was it Gravity? Oh, hold on. A lot of damage coming down onto Muradin, and Muradin will go down. A lot of counter damage coming from KT, but it's not enough to bring anyone else down. We have an odd split here, where Zool is soaking mid, and Dahaka was up top. Now it looks like they're going to meet back in the middle. Camp being started over here on the left-hand side by Married and Mediocre. They're going to grab their siege camp early. Or maybe not early, but right now.
Yeah, that's actually super common on this map for people to be getting it around this time. So not surprised at all. Now the problem we're going to have is they definitely have to come clean this up. They can't afford to let that camp push on bot at all. Luciodology has to make this rotation.
And they do come down. Johanna is taking the brunt of it, but a lot of return damage coming back onto Luciodology, and they have to back out a little bit. They might want to focus these pumpkins instead of directly fighting the team, but those pumpkins do go in and they do hit the towers. But, you know, no damage to the fort. Still, getting a lot of siege damage in on that bottom fort wall.
Yeah, that's a really solid start actually already. On the side of Merit and Mediocre, they've already almost got a tower down.
Here we go. The engage is coming from Merit and Mediocre, and they do catch Deckard. Murden's jumping back in, but is very low as well, running back behind at 480 health. The altars will be spawning in 15 seconds. 2 top, 1 bot. Siege camp trying to get picked up here by Merit and Mediocre as a steal. And I think they will get it. And they do.
Yeah, I don't think Luciodology had much of a choice except to hand that over. I mean, they're already looking down a level. Mirrodin's really low, and Deckard Kane's just now getting back to this fight.
Top tower is channeled. Altar is channeled by Zool. The top right is channeled by Dahaka, and Dahaka is burrowing down to make this a 5v4. Lily gets picked off, and now it's Cassie who's on the retreat with 23 hit points. Does go down as well.
Great stun by Muradin there on the Thrall, and just stuck in a bush waiting to get picked off.
Wow. So there's a big play coming out from Luciodology where they get 2 of those altars, and they get several kills, 3 kills there. I think they needed that to push back the early advances by Married and Mediocre.
Yeah, and there we really saw the value of Dahaka. You know, Zol and Dahaka both stayed top to get their objective on their respective sides, and then Dahaka just burrows down, right? So that you're automatically at a 5v4, and they definitely had the advantage in that fight, and it showed.
Yeah, that global paying off big time. Let's check in our stacks. Well, Convection is done. It is done.
412.
Well played. However, Luciodology is getting in trouble as Murden is taking so much damage. 45 hit points dead. But then Johanna is backing out, but she is hard to kill. Does make it out. Bottom lane super important on this map, just because that's where all these camps spawn, and these are these forts are the ones that usually go first, generating more shots for your objectives. And I feel like Merit and Mediocre are doing a really good job on taking their siege camps early, often, and keeping that pressure up in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's Merit and Mediocre, like you said, they're doing a great job on playing this map. So, you know, if you've ever played Pirates Bay, Blackheart's Bay, the whole goal is get coins. If you get coins in and you focus on that, you'll win the game. On this one, it's definitely put pressure on bot. Take that bot fort, because you have both siege camps. As long as you're winning and you're being able to get those, you're definitely at the advantage.
Huge rotation and gank onto the Zool. The boss has just spawned. Luciodology is looking to engage and fight some more here. They need Deckard to engage with them. He is there, or KT rather. Both of them. You need everybody, and it's a 5v4. Now it's a 4v4. As Raynor has to back off into the back line. A lot of damage going out onto Murden, leaping away. A
Ooh,
huge
solid
root.
root, but it didn't seem like the team was ready for it. I'm not sure they were gonna get that low.
Wow, they do end up getting the Lily, and now it's Johanna who's in a bad spot. Will also fall. That was a huge root by Deckard Cain. Well played, Galactos.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That allows Luciodology to channel that altar, get those shots. I think they probably can't pick up the boss right now, just because the members are already back up from Married and Mediocre. But they might. I don't know. They're at least going to grab this top camp and take that advantage.
Yeah, so Luciodology doing really well on these team fights, actually. And
Oh,
so many times we see him
oh,
retreating.
here we go. A gank onto the Rainer. Three members get it.
Almost.
Married and
Almost. He was
Mediocre.
so close.
That was a good gank opportunity. They took it and they secured it. And maybe a camp engage here. Almost have tens for Luciodology. It should be popping at any moment now.
Yeah, and we see Tanker and Cherubin being real courageous. They actually go ahead and sneak the bot siege camp.
That was a great move. Yeah, that was very bold, and it works out. Let's take a look at some of these heroics. Deckard Cain, stay a while and listen this time. Phoenix from KT, Isolation on Dahaka, Avatar from Muradin, and Rainer's Raider for Rainer.
One of the most annoying ults in the game. I personally think Rainer's Raider is very great. I completely understand it. If I play Rainer, I use it. But if you're good with the Raider, he never dies, and he's always there.
I always forget about him. Like, didn't I have a little buddy flying around? Oh, he's on the ground back there? Bummer. Siege camp getting taken over here by Married and Mediocre as the countdown for the altars in 6 seconds keeps ticking. It's going to be 2 bottom.
The time is now.
And here we go. It's an engage onto Thrall. Thrall runs back a little bit. We do see a channel by Lily. Going to get interrupted. Bottom is channeled by Luciodology. They get those shots. Looks like we're going to have a big fight here over the second altar.
Yep.
Muradin
There
taking a
goes
lot of
Avatar
damage.
getting popped. Cups is popped. Earthquake is popped by Thrall. Everything's coming out right now.
Tanker getting out with... Oh, nope. Getting picked off. There goes Thrall. There goes Rainer. And now Muradin's also very low. Oh, dodging that fend. It's a 4v4. It's stay a while coming out. Getting a lot of value there on hitting a lot of members at least. But it's Dahaka who goes down as well as Muradin. And now it's a 2v4. I think this is safely going to go to Married and Mediocre. What a fight, though.
Galactos in trouble. Actually trying to lure them away, but unfortunately it didn't get very far.
And this bottom fort is controlled by Married and Mediocre, and they're just trying to walk in, try to walk this pumpkin in. But the other two didn't quite make it. But this one should be able to jolt in. And there he goes. All right, so that's an extra shot. We're looking 20 to 30, though.
Yeah, and this is that part where if you play the map right, you start seeing a little bit of a snowball, because they're gonna have to leave somebody down there to clear to try to get their fort back, which means Married and Mediocre can essentially 5-stack the mid lane right now, since they are above an XP already.
Yeah, they can just travel from fort to fort and take them and play a little bit of what's it called, musical chairs, if you will, and then just pick up the altars because they have that extra time to do so. Fairywinkle is scouting out this boss, making sure that it's not taken. But Married and Mediocre are just going to latch on to the siege camp up top and take that for their own. As in the bottom right, the siege camp will be taken by Luciodology, and they will take back their bottom fort. So not too bad, as long as Fairywinkle has to be careful here not to get picked right before this objective. These next altars spawning in 24 seconds. And here we go. Team fight is coming out. There goes Cups, there goes Earthquakes, there goes Avatar, there goes Phoenix, and there goes Muradin, who cannot withstand all that damage. The boss is triggered. And
yeah, Married and
spawning.
Mediocre. Joe is just sitting in the face of Luciodology, and it seems like they're scared to kind of step past her. I think that's the trend we're seeing here is they just put Joe in your face. That's the game of the team fight there.
Absolutely. The team fight was won by Married and Mediocre, but they did lose that those bottom tower shots. Here comes a stay a while and listen. A good disengage for Luciodology, and they back it up to their fort. So I think that might have been worth it. I mean, getting those tower shots, losing Muradin, but getting the tower shots, I mean, that might have been a worthwhile sacrifice, as it's 30-16 in favor of Luciodology core health.
Yeah, and they're still. I mean, they're what, half a level down on XP. So I definitely agree. It might have been worth it.
Here's another big fight. There's the Poison Nova. There's the Phoenix. There's Cups.
They're all getting really on the back line. Muradin gets cleaned up by Cassia, unfortunately.
Muradin, Thrall, Raynor, Lily, all going down. It's a 2-for-2 and a 3v3 continues.
Dahaka, no mana though. Same with Joe. Joe's looking really low on mana right now.
Yep, it's just slappers only down here for a few of these heroes without any mana. Essence pop though, and big heal back onto Fairywinkle.
Heroes.
Johanna says, I'm out of here. I need mana.
That leads to the battlegrounds.
Hearth's back to base. And altars will be activating again in 25 seconds. Still no boss plays yet. Hard to do though when you lose 2 members from each side.
Definitely agreed. Top wave huge up here, knocking down these keep walls.
The altars rise.
Yeah, getting some good siege damage up there just with minions. Yeah, good stuff. All right, activating.
Here we go, back to a big team fight.
Full engage. Wow, they all come out again. There goes Cups. There goes Phoenix. Earthquake is used. Stay a while.
Oh,
as
stay
well.
a while just to keep Joe.
Raynor does go down. We do get some more shots, though. The top right is channeled by Luciodology. Top left channeled by Married and Mediocre. And it will be a fight for this bottom mid altar here. But we have all 5 members up from Married and Mediocre, so they might be able to just win this with sheer numbers.
Yeah, I'm not sure Luciodology can just sit and poke enough without risking their own life. I think they need to give this one.
Yep, unfortunately they do lose the altar, and they lose Muradin, as more shots are claimed for Married and Mediocre, and they transition directly onto the siege camp for an invade.
Definitely a good call. Here we go again. I'm not sure old man's making it out that time.
No, a great combo of stun from Zool, and then also a root from Thrall. That was a great combo, securing that kill onto Decker Kane. He will not be making it out. He's going to take a dirt nap for another 25 seconds. And Married and Mediocre continue to push in this bottom lane, trying to take this bottom fort back. Once again, the battle of the bottom forts. They get their
Jimmy
pumpkins
up
in,
there
but...
the whole time. Jimmy up there up top, sneaking that siege camp to get a little added value elsewhere and get that soak on top lane.
Yeah, that's smart. If you can't engage because you don't have the numbers and some of your teammates are down, go ahead and get that XP, those camps in other lanes where you can. Luciodology is about to hit 16, which is what they are going to need to get on the same talent tier. Is this a possible gank here, as Muradin is eyeing Thrall and Dahaka, and they're trying to collapse. Here comes the jump. There goes the stun.
Rise again.
Oh, I'm not sure they had enough communication there. It looks like his team was worried about clearing the siege camp.
Yep.
Instead,
No follow-up tongue to pull that Thrall out of position, but maybe we'll get another chance here. Earthquake is used, but the tongue is engaged, and Thrall does get picked, while the boss is picked up by Married and Mediocre. Interesting. So it's now 12-18. It's very close, and this is the comeback map. Instead of challenging this altar, they move. Married and Mediocre move onto the mid fort.
yeah, interesting call actually.
They weren't able to drop it fast enough.
No, and Lily in a lot of trouble having to pop cups just for herself right now.
Doing a good job of staying on the back, though, and healing everybody up. Stay a while and listen is used on Johanna, and Johanna is taking a nap. Muradin is low. But, so they... Luciodology, they get the shots. They save their mid fort. It is, it did lose about maybe a quarter of its health. Here, Dahaka is doing a little bit of bush mastery here. Seeing if they can
Bush
get another
wookie.
pick. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Found by
Ooh.
5 members.
Yeah, Mura almost in trouble there. Good thing he got his leap out before that root hit, or he was probably not making it without popping his avatar.
Yep, very aggressive and very distracting. Murden can be sometimes as he goes and starts working on Siege Camp for Luciodology, which may be challenged here by Married and Mediocre as they come in. Phoenix going down, and they do steal the camp. Poison Nova comes out, Cups comes out, and it's KT is the first to drop, followed by Muradin, followed by Dahaka in a second here. Yep. And there we go. Only ult still up is Stay a While. All the ults used in that fight. And I think we're going to see this bottom fort go down and then a quick altar pickup from Merit and Mediocre.
Yeah, it's an easy finish on that for it. They'll get the extra shots in. They actually really needed that too. As you look on the side of Merit and Mediocre, they only have 8 left on their shot count.
Yep, they need it. That'll give them 5 shots, and now it's 8-13, which is so much closer than 8-18.
Mm-hmm. And picking up the siege camp again, which, Luciodology has to go counter now because they don't even have the keep there anymore to help defend it.
Yep, their members are just starting to spawn, but will they get there in time to defend this middle fort to keep it from falling? Phoenix is popped out there to help defend. Decker Kane having to back out. Their Ball Lightning coming out, bouncing back and forth. But once again, this fort is saved by Luciodology, but it is low, which makes it a little bit of a liability for easy capture later on.
Yep, and they got a free 2, was it 2? Down there on bot. The siege camp went in. I saw a couple of shots.
They got 2, yep. Oh, no, 3. They got all 3 shots in there.
They got all 3.
So, good distraction. Shots are shots. And now it's 8-10, even closer. Murden taking too much, Dahaka taking too much damage going down, but there goes Thrall and Cassia, so this may be a re-engage, depending on if Murden can keep them from retreating. Johanna, popping Unstoppable, will make it out. It is 4-3, though, as far as still having members alive, and it's time for 2 more altars activating shortly.
That was actually a great time for Engage, because if you're looking at the XP right now, we've got Married and Mediocre chilling at 19, and Luciodology's only at 18. They definitely want to pick up that fight before 20s.
Yep, and Luciodology wants to take back this fort before the altar phase, but members of Merit and Mediocre are starting to channel already, so I don't think they're going to be able to stop the top from getting channeled, but they are probably going to be able to secure the bottom. Not a bad trade. Otherwise, they would have gotten more shots. I mean, they do have Merit and Mediocre do have the mid, so they did get more shots altogether. But at least it wasn't another one. And now we are tied at 5. Luciodology has to take back this mid fort. 20s already appearing for Merit and Mediocre as well, so they are down a talents here, and they use that advantage to take this siege camp, which they've been doing all game. Energy Hot says, and that's why you don't take convection. I'm not sure what I missed there, but maybe maybe they have more comments on that. Luciodology does get their forts back, and now they're probably going to lose it again, this bottom one. But they do have their 20s. Ooh, Stay a While is burned. Not catching anyone.
Yeah, nobody's ready for old man story time there. Joe going in really hard and getting pulled by Dahaka, having to pop her Iron Skin.
Big root by Deckard, and Phoenix comes out, and they do get a pick on Lily. They have their healer down. Murden, Earthquake comes out. Murden is trying to disrupt the backline. Meanwhile, Johanna is taking a lot of damage. Is going to make it out with 325 health. Oof.
Ooh, Raider
Good
got
kill.
shredded with a great spear throw at the end of that by Sherman. That was actually really awesome to watch. Sorry, Jimmy, but it was a great play.
Here we go. Altars are activating. Either team. Well, I mean, if either team gets both, that's game.
Activate them.
We're getting a good stall.
Heroes.
Oh, Murden does get picked. But they do
Oh no,
channel the right
KT
inside.
not gonna be able to finish the channel, and he's looking like he's about to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Dahaka doing a good job of disruption. There goes Poison Nova and Stay a While, but Dahaka's taking too much damage and drops. Luciodology better get out of there. I don't think they can't afford to
Well, this
contest.
is a
They
boss
have
play
to.
now.
They have to. This is game. They only have two.
This is game.
Yep.
Yeah, married mediocre. All they have to do.
Oh, that's it. They
Finish
had
that.
4. They had 4 of the towers. That is game.
Yep. Wow.
GG's. Whew, that was so close.
Very, very close game. That was actually really excellent to watch. We saw some very solid team fights where, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I thought Luciodology was gonna lose the team fight, and then they turn around and wipe 3 or 4 people. So that was actually a great game to watch. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That one was super close. Oh my goodness. All right, so it looks like Married and Mediocre will get the 2-0 here. It was very, very close. That last game, what was it, 2-0?
Yeah.
For
yeah,
shots left?
Yep. It was
Getting a
very, very close game.
absolutely. Yeah, that was a good comeback. At the beginning, Luciodology was up, maybe 12 or 14 points, something like that. What was it? It was like 30 to 20, something like that. But yeah, this I feel like Married Mediocre did a really good job of controlling all of the camps, going in for camp invades, and also putting a lot of pressure on that bottom fort.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Married and Mediocre, what they did well there was they went for the macro play and they played the map. Although they lost some of the team fights, I won't say their team fights were bad either, because they I felt the problem with Luciodology is both of their tanks would charge hard for the backline, and they would kind of abandon their own backline, and Joe would just sit up in their face, and you have this huge separation now. KT can't be up there to throw things. Galactos is back there trying to heal KT from Joe. So I think they both played really well. I think that Married and Mediocre just did a little bit better on the macro play, and maybe a little bit better on a few of the key team fights at the end there.
Yeah, I feel like Murden sometimes was trying to cause a distraction by jumping onto the back line of Married and Mediocre, and then left the rest of Luciodology to try to get a kill on one person, and sometimes that worked and sometimes it didn't. And sometimes Murden himself got caught in the middle of everything, but also some really good escapes. Playing that Murden in a very a fashion that is very annoying to the other team. He's just always buzzing around like a mosquito, causing a whole bunch of chaos. But well played by both teams on this one. This one was super close.
Yeah, this second match was awesome to watch. I definitely really enjoyed it. They both did an excellent job, and I hope to see them both make it to the playoffs. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get Tanker in here. See if Tanker is up for an interview.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and hop into a lobby here. Let's go in lobby 1.
Good.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off there for a second.
No worries. There we go. In lobby 1.
Let's see. Did I update the scores? Yes. All right. So it is a 2-0, right? I did get that right. It was Married and Mediocre who got the last shots. Okay. So I don't want to mess it all up at the very end. Let me see if they feel like doing an interview. I will message them on Discord too, just in case. And I mean, another stat that we should look at is how empty this pot is that I have next to me. So that's a win for me too.
Hey, yeah, you're right. You went through the whole night without getting sick, so that's a prop to you.
Let's see what it sounds like with honking the chicken into the pan. All right. Well, that was annoying. Sorry.
It just sounds like a sad chicken.
Yeah, the chicken is so sad. All right. Well, I can't. Let's see.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey, there he is.
He
You guys
made
were
it.
honking You guys were honking a chicken. I didn't want to interrupt anything.
Oh, well,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
sorry.
there's so much chicken honking going on. But congratulations, sir, on the 2-0 victory. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us and casting the game. It was a lot of fun.
You guys.
Yeah, it was excellent to watch. That second match, how are you feeling as it got really close down to the wire on that, man?
Man, that was really tough. I mean, I hate playing Dahaka as a general rule on that map, and he definitely showed us why. But man, it was really tough. It was at the beginning we were down and we kind of just put ourselves into a hole, dying a couple of times right before objectives. Just made it really, really tricky. So glad that we were able to kind of chip away at it and come through at the end there.
Yeah, you guys really turned that one around. What was that conversation on your comms about what you could do? Like, what do you feel like you did that really was able to turn that around in your favor after being behind?
Yeah, I think we knew that we were playing on the ultimate comeback map, so we knew that there was always a chance no matter what, and we knew that we just kind of had to chip away at it. Usually when we play that map, we're really good at it. We're usually getting 2 out of 3 or, trading pretty well. And I think what we really just needed to focus on is we got together. We knew that we needed to not get picked because that's how we were losing every time, is they would catch one of us out of where we needed to be. I got picked right next to my tower one time. So we just knew that we had to mainly be together. We had to path correctly. We had a couple of weird pathing things that happened down bottom. So we knew we just needed to focus, play together, do what needed to be done, and just chip away at it. It wasn't going to be all done at the same exact time. So.
Very true, and it is the comeback map, like you said. I feel like you guys did a really good job of camp management, taking your own camp as often as you could, looking for opportunities to invade Luciodology's camps as well. It seemed like you guys put a lot of pressure and focus on that bottom lane for Towers of Doom. Is that correct, or is that just happened to be where you guys had a lot of your engagements?
Yeah, no, we definitely prioritized the bottom lane right away. We have a pretty good Zool in Tragus, so we're comfortable having him split soak both lanes up top and just dominating down bottom, and we really did for the most part in the beginning of the game. It was when the tower phases kept popping up where we just were a little bit disjointed, but we knew that we would be able to trust our split soaker and that the 4 of us would do pretty well together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely did. It was really, some of those team fights you guys had us going back and forth. I wasn't sure who was gonna win, and you both, took both your fair share of team fights that match. So it was solid to watch, man. It was a great game.
Yeah, we weren't sure who was gonna win a lot of those either. It was just kind of up in the air, and it was, well, are you gonna get one here and turn the tide, or who's gonna do it this time? That was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, huge plays. I love games where it's so close that you can't tell who's going to win. It's not one-sided, or it's, a comeback is made, or it's so close that you're on the edge of your seat. You're like, what's going to happen? Who's going to win this one? I don't know. And it just unfolds before you. So I have one other question about game 2, and that is Lily, Johanna, Cassia. Do you guys often play a triple blind comp?
No, but when we play a Rainer, we definitely don't avoid a triple blind comp, that's for sure. We knew that we were gonna have to deal with Raynor, and he was really frustrating, and we wanted to have him blinded. We knew that Cassia does bonus damage against blinded targets too, so we thought that that would be a good way to deal with Raynor, especially considering he was probably going to be down bottom with us. Just making sure that we weren't letting him get too much. We just didn't want him to do too much damage to us, and that's why we went with it.
Well, it seemed to work out quite well.
Yeah.
We saw 1 blind, then we saw 2, and then we saw 3.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was calling for an
Trinity.
Artanis. I was like, you need one more. You need the last one. That's all you needed.
Yeah. We rarely run a quad blind comp, so that's why we did just the 3. We didn't want to get too crazy or anything.
Right. Yeah. It can't be.
Somebody's
got
to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the one downside, to be honest. Raynor being where he is right now, he's definitely very strong, but the problem is if he does make it through the draft and you have the first pick with him, the immediate counter is obviously Joe's already in the meta, so you usually can expect a Joe in a match anyways, even if there's not a Raynor. But Cassia's win rate right now is really high, and she is a solid counter to Raynor. So I do think that was a good pickup on your drafts. I think that was your second pick, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was Joanna, then Thrall, and Cassia.
Yeah, good stuff there. Do you have any other questions, Archangel?
No, I'm good. That's all I had. It was a great match. Very excited to watch that last one.
Yes, thank you,
that
sir.
was pretty crazy. It was really good having you. You guys are always great to us. Thanks for creating something that really gets the blood flowing, Archangel. I mean, I know a couple of us after that match was over threw our headsets down and just had to take a quick break. I could find on my living room floor, and my wife is very confused. So usually only sees me doing that after sporting activities of some kind, but this one, my heart was racing for sure.
It's the world of esports. Yeah,
man.
You guys
There's
played a great.
sports in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any shout outs for us, Tanker?
Yeah, I've got actually a few shout outs for you.
Do it to it. Oh yeah.
Obviously, shout out to the wives.
Absolutely.
I love it.
We're married and mediocre. They're married to mediocre. So shout out to the wives first, obviously. Shout out to Luciodology. I mean, you guys were really cool, really fun to hang out with and just talk over this past week with. And then I want to do a kind of weird thing at the end here too, if that's okay. I want to shout out to Meme Factory and say that all the smack talk that's been coming towards us about being geriatrics of our league is pretty offensive and hurtful. And that you guys should go back to playing Fortnite with your other middle school friends. So
I believe there is a little bit of rivalry between these teams. I believe it's meant well and it's all in fun and things like that. I've been seeing.
It was until I found out that one of them was a Blackhawks fan.
Oh,
and as a Minnesota Wild fan, I can't be a part of that. So, now it's mainly filled with hate. A lot of hate
wrapped in chocolate and love.
There's no chocolate.
Oh, no
Hershey's
chocolate.
Kisses.
Oh my goodness.
I like the guy, but he's Blackhawks fan. And so
when do you guys
things,
play?
We don't know, but I mean, you just don't bring moms into smack talk. That's all I'm saying. Meme Factory.
All right. Yep. And if you
talk about mamas.
Yeah. You gotta leave Mama alone. She's a saint, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 4 out of the 5 of our moms, saints for sure.
See, that's why we wanted to call you married with children. Not because it's another team name from another season.
Is it really? It's also a famous TV show.
Yes, it is.
Married with Children aren't playing this season, are they?
Don't believe.
I can't remember. There's so many teams. Any other shout outs and call outs, I suppose.
I mean, shout out to you guys. The casting team is so great on here. It's just so much fun. I say this pretty much every time, but the guys and I, on a game day, as you want to call it, like we're thinking about it the entire time. I know 5 o'clock came around and I was at home and I was like, well, only 3 more hours towards our game, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of something that gets some of my best friends together. We all know each other. Most of us are high school, college friends. A couple of us are related to each other as well. So it's just really cool to have a place where we can all get together, hang out, but also have some competitive fun that a lot of us at our age, just don't get to have quite the way we used to back when we played sports and other stuff like that. So it's a really great thing to be a part of NGS, and we're excited to be here and just looking forward to the future for sure.
Hey, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
We set up the league to have fun and just enjoy esports the way we all wanted to. So it's good to hear that. You're warming my heart. Thanks. Keep me motivated.
You're crushing it. Seriously, like, not to keep this interview going on too long because my wife will make fun of me if she hasn't already, but I mean, it's just a really fun thing to see an organization that really has, first of all, a huge volunteer base is really, really cool. And then just well run, and people care about what they're doing, and that's pretty awesome to have. So really appreciate you guys putting that on there and just being so welcoming whenever we have questions or whenever we need anything.
Yeah.
Well, thank
good
you.
To hear. You're welcome. And
yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm glad that you guys are having a great time, and all of those thankful words are hitting the right man. Founder Archangel.
Sure.
From Tanker and from the rest of us. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, and you guys have a great night, okay?
All right. Have a good one.
Keep those weenuses moist, okay?
Well, I'm going to do what I can, but I appreciate it, and keep playing. And I look forward to seeing you guys continue throughout the season.
Yeah, for sure. Go Vikings.
All right. See ya. All right. Well, I think that's just about going to do it for us here at the end of this cast. If we can keep people from jumping back in and forth. But thank you, Archangel, so much for joining me in this cast this evening. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say. But love you, man. Thank you.
Hey, no worries. It was awesome being here. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time since I've co-casted, but I do like to hop back down in here, get back in the roots of it, hang out with the community, have some fun. A lot of times, us admin have a lot to do. We get caught up and we kind of forget that you have to enjoy the game and you have to enjoy what you're doing. So that's kind of what a lot of us admin have been starting to do, get back into it. And it's been a lot of fun. So thanks for putting up with me and tolerating it. I really appreciated it.
Well, we love our admins, all of the admins, not just yourself, for all the hard work that you guys do. So we really appreciate it. Do you have any shout outs, sir?
Yes, I always have shout outs. First, I always have to shout out my wife as well, because without her, this league wouldn't be here. I would never even have gotten started if she didn't mind all the late nights, hours, and lots of money. So big shout out to my wife. Second, I have to give a huge shout out to specifically all staff, but I want to specifically name the admin team. Lately, it's been a lot of work. We've tried a lot of new things, and they put in countless hours. I can't tell you how many admin meetings we have and decisions we make to help run this. So I have to say thank you to them personally. And finally, of course, like I said, to all the other volunteers in the community that make this work, make it run, come in here and have some fun and keep the amateur esports league alive. Keep it going, till the end.
Well, it sounds like NGS is dying because we have lost most of our players year to year. So I think maybe it'll be over next season. Oh wait, no, that's not what's happening. It's doubling and tripling and growing hundreds and hundreds of teams every season. Not every season, but the growth has been exponential. I think it's really been something that people have connected with and enjoy, and that's the reason for the success. Great ideas and great people behind them. So. You can find Archangel on Twitter at Archangel0138. You just have to jump ahead of those 137 other Archangels that are out there, and then you'll find the one that you're after. You can find me on Twitter at MoistWeenus or on Twitch, twitch.tv/MoistWeenus. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank everybody in Twitch chat. Appreciate it, and we will see you guys. See you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.